everything is set to change in 2 months. January 1, 2024, everything changes that we know about the supply chain. And I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on so you can prepare yourself for it. Because what I think is going to happen is all these newfound costs are going to be pushed onto the consumer. Things are going to get a lot more expensive, and people need to know what's really happening. Just hit the like button. When you hit the like button, YouTube's going to share this content to educate the people about what's really going on. And if you'd like to fix your credit, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcy papers. The company, backed by investors such as Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, bet that its technology would reduce cost and increase utilization compared to...
Hey, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And I'm going to do a quick one through the spirit. Keep updated with the news, watching what's going on. The trucking industry, how about that? As you heard, the trucking industry. Now, you got one of the leaders, top trucking industry in America called Convoy. And guess what? Who owns them? Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. All right, and we need the trucking industry. The trucking industry and the trucks is what distributive. They export, import, and bring in the goods into the consumers. All right, and this is coming. Once the trucking industry is out of the way, these stores, your restaurants, your food, groceries, shopping malls, your ShopRites, your BJs, you're going to slowly see the decrease of food, man. So the Lord, there ain't no reason why this devil, Bill Gates, own agricultural farmlands. He goes into the distribution of truck. He owns a trucking company, Convoy. Look it up. It's not by coincidence. Let's listen up.
Traditional brokerages. Now, let's take a look at what's actually happening right now. In California, 40% of all containerized imports and 30% of all exports to the United States, they have to pass through California. So, the new environmental regulations in California are going to indirectly reshape our entire supply chain. Here's how this is working. California's latest environmental regulation may have unintended consequences for truckers. They go on to say that electrifying trucks at California ports could be the secret to the future. Picture it, we continue to import and export every imaginable good, jet fuel, Nintendo Switches, canned peaches, trucking, would work in the fleets, would move these containers full of stuff from the terminal to the yards, to railroads, the highways, or warehouses, and all the above without spewing toxic emissions into local communities. Charging depots and the power grid truck manufacturers would have scaled up to meet this demand, and unlike previous regulations, we wouldn't have to accidentally kick off a scheme which trucking companies buy clean trucks discounted with taxpayer funds, only to force their truck drivers to pay off their extra cost. We can have our cake and eat it too. Or it could be a huge mess. Now listen to this. We're talking about a transition that is in order of when we traded in the horse and buggy for diesel trucks. It is that consequential. We don't have the technology figured out yet. Unfortunately, it's the first step towards decarbonization. They're coming fast and they'll be legally mandated. The California Air Resource Board, also called CARB, has required drayage fleets, the type of trucking companies that operate in ports that only buy zero-emission vehicles, starting January 1, 2024. By 2035, drayage fleets must be entirely zero-emission.
Why are you not investing in tax fleets? No, seriously. Why are you not investing into one of the...
So, these fleets, it's going to get harder and harder and harder to get these parts as well, as the combustion engine slowly starts to get pushed out. They even predict, CNBC predicts, that revenues for internal combustion engines as well as fuel and exhaust systems are expected to decline 44% over the next 3 years, according to a 2023 Deloitte Automotive Supplier Survey. And they say that revenues for electric drivetrains and batteries and fuel cells are expected to rise 245% because everything is getting changed. Everything is getting pushed out. So, look at this. They say the first of their kind guidelines, which take an effect in 2024, cover a broad range of truck segments from medium-duty models up to the big rigs that move vast amounts of goods throughout California and across the country. Currently, guidelines from the California Act Resource Board already press manufacturers to add electric hydrogen trucks to light-duty segments. California's push to reduce truck emissions could lead to some major changes in traditionally state automotive industries. Among other things, it could also encourage the emergence of new competitors, right? So these new competitors gives a big opportunity for these billionaires that are sitting on a ton of funding and an industry that's getting completely overhauled. And this is where we start to see what they're doing here, which is producing an array of hydrogen-powered heavy-duty trucks in Detroit-based startup Rivian, which is also invested in by Bill Gates, or excuse me, by Jeff Bezos. Right here, he goes on to shows you right here, Amazon starting to deliver packages of Rivian electric vehicles. So you start to see what's going on here, which is a contract to produce 100,000 electric delivery vans for Amazon. California is once again leading the nation in the fight to make our air cleaner, becoming the first place in the world demanding zero-emission trucks by 2045. Gavin Newsom said. So you're starting to see what's going to happen here. It's going to also get a lot harder just to fix your truck. Look at this. This is Deutsche Bank. This is 1 day ago. All I typed in here was shipping emissions. Deutsche Bank sets emission.
So in other words, let me put this in layman's terms. Okay, this is going to affect the trucking industry because a lot of people are not going to be able to keep up with the costs, with the change, which change into for the environment. And this is all designed so they can break down the industry. This is all designed to cripple the trucking industry. And again, Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, these are billionaires. These are puppets that are used by the elites. All right. So what you're seeing is once these trucks are out of here, once people can distribute and bring the goods across the country, that's going to affect the economy. It's going to affect what? The stores. It's going to bring in what? Less food. What's that going to bring? Violence, because people going to want to eat. All right? So we see what's going on. Now, when I was reading this this article is on Capital. That same thing. It's a gloomy time for trucking. You hear that? It's a gloomy time for trucking. Show retail sales at lower fat demand are having a domino effect across the freight industry. Trucking company owners and everyone in the trucking industry are likely feeling the pinch as company jockeys for fewer loads. And now industry leaders are confirming that we are all feeling. After major freight companies reveal Q1 earnings, poor industry conditions are being laid bare, and the situation is now described by many as the trucking recession or freight recession. Okay, what is causing this? Okay, what is causing this? The overall decline in 2023 economic activity. In this particular case, several sectors of the industry have been impacted by significant declines at the same time. And this is hitting the trucking sector hard, man. Okay? And this is what's going to happen. Demand for all sorts of consumer goods is falling. Do you understand this? Do you see where Babylon the Great is heading? The demand for all sorts of consumer goods is falling as the cost of living rises. All right? The cost of living is going up. This is leading to U.S. manufacturing orders decreasing. Meanwhile, imported goods from China fell by 40% this past winter, so fewer cargo ships are arriving in the U.S. ports than usual. And we know these devils don't really make nothing. The majority of our goods and products come from China, come from the different nations, man. So you're about to see these stores. You're about to see 2nd Ezra 6 and 22, and suddenly, shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All right? You see that? And the trumpet shall give a sound which where every man heareth, they should be subtly afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. See? And that's what's going to happen. These people are going to lose their goddamn mind out here, man. You know, people are going to turn into friends, into enemies, because that's what's coming here. Once you cripple the trucking industry, which is a big part of the economy, and to bring in the goods, you know, to your stores, it's gonna be all hell. And guess who owns it? The CEO, Bill Gates. The gates of hell himself, the devil. So we see how this is about to be, man. So all that man, this place is through, man. That's why we're gonna need Yahweh Shem outside. All right. So I think that's it. You know, just bring you a little insight what's going on in the news and and filtering into the scriptures, man. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. Lord willing, you was edified through the Spirit. All right. Shalom.